snow to you guys?
Just starting.
Oh, okay, good. All right, just a second.
By the end of the day, it'll be heavy snow.
Okay. We get all crazy when it rains, let alone snows.
Oh, I understand. I did play for the Niners.
That's right. Yeah, you know how it is. Tell us about Dennis Allen. The reports are that he may be the lead candidate for the Broncos and that the Raiders are negotiating with him, of course, the defensive coordinator of the Broncos. Give us some insight there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that Dennis Allen is a good guy. He is the type of guy that is a tough coach that understands how to motivate men. And I think when you start looking at the quality coaches in this league, it's always the same thing. It's always the guys who understand and know how to motivate men that get the best out of the players, and certainly Dennis Allen is one of those type of guys.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit, because when a guy makes the jump from being a secondary coach to a coordinator, and now he's going to be the head coach, he's going to stand in front of the whole team and talk to them all there. You got to have a little something about you. He's a young guy, just 39 years of age. How is he going to be standing in front of the whole room, talking to his entire team, dealing with the media, and being the on-field leader of the Raiders?
Well, I've had a similar type of situation with David Shula when I was with the Cincinnati Bengals, and it did not work out well at all. Because what you have, if the guy isn't respectable, is you have a young coach, and you'll probably have some players that are around that, maybe not 39, but they'll be pretty close. You'll have a few mid-30-year-old guys that are on the team, and if you don't get the respect of those guys immediately, you won't have a good team chemistry or understanding about what the coach really wants, because all people can see is, man, I just had a brew with you the other night. Aren't you the same guy that lives next door to me? They don't look at him like he's the head coach.
Yeah, Richard Seymour's the same age. Yeah.
Right. So it can be a difficult process, but one that I think Dennis Allen, with his demeanor, that he can handle. And it didn't work out for David Shula, but I'm telling you, with this guy's demeanor, he is a no-nonsense coach who really gets after it, and he really believes that the players are the reason that you win and lose, not game plans. And that counts for a lot when you start talking about coaches in this league, because many of them think it's their game plans when we all know it's the players that are involved.
Good enough to be joined by Alfred Williams. He's a former Niner as well as a Bronco. He's in Denver, does radio out there. And Dennis Allen is reportedly the lead candidate for the Raiders head coaching position. We're talking to him here on 95.7 The Game. In your experience as a player, you get coordinators who are hot coordinators, but then they can't translate it to being the head coach. What makes a good head coach to you?
I think a good head coach is a guy who coaches the coaches, and that's just the bottom line. I was fortunate enough to play with some great head coaches in the NFL. I played for George Seifert, and I'll never forget this because I was a new member of the 49ers. After they won the championship in '94, I get there in '95. We go out to play the Denver Broncos, ironically, in preseason. And when we get there, it is a sluggish day. It's not going well, and things are, I'm like, this is not what I envisioned as a 49er way of doing business. And it was a sluggish practice. It was the first one we had over in Tokyo. And he just went on and just finished out the practice and told the players it's not the way that the 49ers handle business, and we would have to be better. And he dismissed us. And soon after that, he told all the coaches, young and old, to come and take a knee. And when I saw that, that was the first time I saw full authority of a head coach. And you know what he said? This is not the 49er way. This is not the way we do business, and you are responsible for them having a bad practice. It's not their fault. And for the first time, I understood what a head coach is supposed to be. He is supposed to be a manager of other men to get one common goal, and that's to win a championship. I also seen it in Mike Shanahan as well, because I think some of those qualities were given from the great Bill Walsh that have been passed down, and that's why you've seen so many of those guys do well.
Yeah, and after you left the Niners that one year, you went to Denver, and you were part of those two back-to-back Super Bowl winning teams in '97 and '98 for Coach Shanahan. At the end of his run in Denver, Alfred, Coach Shanahan just could not get the defense to play at all. They were horrible, and Josh McDaniels had the same problem his brief tenure. I remember the defense last year, referring to 2010, run by my friend Don Martindale, Wink Martindale, who was a Raider assistant coach, and they were just awful. One of the worst defenses the NFL has seen in many, many years. And Dennis Allen comes in this year after a bit of a slow start. He got it going, and that was the main reason why you guys got hot and wound up winning the AFC West. Not so much Tebow, but the defense. So specifically, how did Dennis Allen turn this defense around this year?
I think the guys finally, there's no OTAs for the defense as a new unit. The offensive unit came back intact, okay? Mike McCoy was there. The defensive unit came back, and there were a lot of holes to be filled. And early on, you could see that the Raiders beat up on us. Oh, they beat up on us so bad. I mean, they ran the ball right down our throat. And then later down the line, guys start to trust and they start to believe, and the players start to get better. And what you saw out of Dennis Allen is a little less trick 'em and just go ahead and play base defense. And I think once that happened, the guys start to play better. And then later in the season, you started seeing, nagging injuries, high ankle sprain that was not talked about from Elvis Dumervil. You saw the broken hand from Von Miller. You saw the loss of a Brian Dawkins. Those are three huge pieces to that defense when they were winning and playing championship-style defense. Those three guys were huge. And then that's what happens when you have a confident defensive coordinator. He just lets the guys play. And I think he learned that last year. Not to trick it up, not to do all that craziness. When you look at the 49ers and you see that the way that they play defense, they don't trick anybody. They just line up and play great defense. And if you're going to be a great coach, you just got to give guys the basics and let the God-given talent take over. And I think that's what happened with Dennis Allen for the most part of the season.
Former Bronco, 49er and Bengal Alfred Williams now in Denver, giving us a little insight into Dennis Allen, reportedly the lead candidate for the Raiders head coaching position. He's a defensive coordinator of the Broncos here on 95.7 The Game. He's only 39 years old. He's a young guy. Are there anything that you would look at it and you'd say, gee, I don't know if he's ready, or are there any red flags with this guy?
He's tough enough, fellas. I mean, that's what you got to know. He's tough enough, and the players love him. And the players